right, let's check on Linda's progress today.
Good morning, Linda.
How are you, John?
Good. Oh, that's actually a semi over. Buttons do 4 things. Each one.
Just wanted to show you some of the things that I found hidden in your yard. Buried treasures, so to speak. This doesn't look like much, but these bricks we repurposed to make a pad for your garbage can, and then mulched around it. So this is going to be very easy care. The yucca and the phlox will make a screen to hide your ugly garbage can, and yet it's close and handy to the house. Out here, I'm happy with the progress of this little spreading perennial. See how it just brightens up, lightens up that dark area? It pops against both the brick and the dark colored mulch.
Looking real good after a week worth of rain.
This was just something that had fallen over and had rooted in the grass along here. So I dug that up and had enough to put it all along the edge, and I've stuck it out here by the curb as well. So I'm extremely happy. Each one of these little spots of perennial that you see will cover. I mean, it's going to completely fill that area so that eventually it's going to smother out weeds too. Right now the mulch is doing that job, but so that you don't have to even keep replenishing the mulch, we're going to use that nice ground cover. And I think that the color is a huge benefit as well. This arborvitae is a kind of a new variety called Technito from Proven Winners, and it's going to be a nice vertical.
So it'll be about 8 feet tall, so
yes.
Roughly?
Yes, so that's going to be really nice right there. Of course, it'll draw attention to your nice new railing when you get that put up. This is the north side of the house, so it doesn't get full sun. This little perennial here is called Cherry Bells. It is going to fill up. It's a campanula, a kind of bellflower. It's going to fill that little area and have beautiful little pinky purpley bell flowers on that. So I think Robin will really like that. I'm going to leave the ferns. They do really well here in the shade. I put daylilies here. This is a Siberian iris that's going to get about to here. It's probably the kind that has the deep purple flower. That's the most popular one, the Caesar's Brothers. There's also a couple different colors, so we'll have to watch that to see. And this is also something that if Robin wants to put a tall, skinny topiary here, we can pull this out and put it here.
Okay.
Later on. But there are no sales yet. I mean, on those. That's something, it's going to be such a special focal point, I think, unless I find something just drop dead gorgeous that I think she can't refuse. She may want to pick that one out herself.
Okay.
So, but for now, that's here. Then we have the existing peonies. Yes, they look really tough right now. We had an extremely wet, hot year, so right now they are being affected by a couple different types of fungal diseases. It is not going to kill the plant. That's one of the benefits of peonies. That's why if you go to any graveyard in Iowa, at least, peonies are planted there because they're such a long-lived perennial. They really like living in Iowa. I planted a tiger-eyed sumac here, and it's doing quite well. It's just a baby. It's a sucker that I had in my yard, so I dug it up. It's going to get 6 feet tall. So it's going to be a really, I think, a stunning addition to the yard. This color is just so beautiful, and it keeps this beautiful color until fall, and then it actually turns fire colors, orange and red, and so it's just pretty in every season.
Cool.
This one does not sucker quite as badly as the ones you see, the wild sumac in the ditch, but it does, as I said, it suckered, so that's why it's here. So it still does, but it's not an uncontrollable one. You can either dig it up and share it with your friends or just cut it down.
Okay.
So it won't be a maintenance nightmare either. Along the side here, I found 4 of these little bricks that will keep the mud from coming down into your driveway. I don't know if you noticed that was happening in that corner.
Yeah.
So between the mulch and the bricks, that's going to finish that off. Now, I did not carry any bricks along here because I want you to be able to run your mower right along here. So we want to make this as easy as possible.
So we don't have to pull the trimmer out, we just mow it.
Right.
Right.
And because we've got mulch here, the mud doesn't splash up on your siding anymore. I don't know if you noticed, but the heavy rains we had even washed most of the mud off.
Oh, you're right.
So that's another benefit of mulch. So I'm anxious to get the rest of the yard mulched and pretty. It just, don't you think it just looks
It looks really
finished?
good. Yes, the mulch really helps.
It really sets it off. And of course, you see I put another Technido arborvitae there. And not only, I think there's several benefits to having this here. One, it's going to grow up and just hide this boo-boo here. And I like the neighbor has an arborvitae right here, so it ties it all. It gives a harmonious look to the landscape. However, I didn't think that you wanted another 25-foot giant right here.
So this will be a short one.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Now in the spring, these iris are going to burst into various different colors. These right here are iris. The German bearded iris. A friend had extra of those, so be sure and tell Barb Muller thank you.
All right.
When you see her.
All right.
You had a few already here, but these, although they don't last long when they're there, they're just glorious. I found a couple more spireas. This is a spirea, very common shrub, but the reason it's common is because it's very low maintenance, it stays compact, very hardy shrub, and it had rooted in the wall a couple different places, so I took them out of the wall, put another one here and another one over there, so they'll flank this beautiful hydrangea later on. And I've got some more black-eyed Susans that I'm going to dig up in the spring and bring over here and kind of fill in this whole area. This is more of the Caesar's Brothers Siberian iris. This is, I know you can't tell.
Has that always been there?
It has, yeah.
Oh.
You can't tell how pretty this is going to be, but it's got a real deep velvety purple bloom. And even when it's not in bloom, it'll get this tall, and it just has a real nice grassy, strappy, nice green architectural feel to it. It's a nice perennial. So, and I know Robin likes purple, so
yeah.
I hear that's her favorite color.
Yes.
The yucca was already here, and I just really like the placement of this. This is really a good spot for that. It'll have white candles of flowers that shoot up. Have you been here long enough to see that yet?
Haven't seen anything yet.
Okay. Well,
probably because it wasn't healthy before.
yeah. Well, you should be able to see
or we
that.
couldn't tell because of all the other stuff that was 5 feet taller.
Well, you'll be able to see that next summer. It's done for now, but anyway, that's just really pretty. You being from Arizona, you're familiar with this plant, right?
Yes.
Does it make you feel like home?
Yeah, I like it.
Right.
I'm surprised it does okay out here, considering it's something I'd used to see out in Arizona.
Yeah.
It doesn't mind the winter, huh?
Nope. This is tough stuff. What it minds is getting. You can't kill the stuff. So that's why I'm thrilled that the placement is good
Right.
on this, because it's really hard. I think it drinks Roundup.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And these are not impressive right now at all. These little sedums, I've planted them, dug them up, and put them all the way across the front. Now next year, they should, since they're right out here in the sun without being shaded, these should make nice, compact little round balls. So they'll look a lot better next year. But they're here for now, and they are thriving. I don't know if you can tell that or not, but they are thriving. And this is my favorite part of your garden so far. I like the shade garden here. We salvaged all of the flagstones and put it out here. And I built a little bench out of some of the extra hard goods that were laying around. And since I hope that you guys will love hydrangeas as much as I do, because I flanked the bench with these and popped in a few extra hostas. I will be expanding the hostas. We're just going to have the hostas just fill in totally in here. And again, that chokes out the weeds. But in the meantime, this is the area that I will be mulching. These little pretty things here are called coral bells. Now, what we have to remember is just about Christmas time, we have to come out here and step on them. I know that sounds so weird, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, we're just going to step on them once firmly to push them back in the ground, because in their first year, many times the frost will heave them up.
Oh.
You don't have to do it after the first year, but you have to push their little root right back down into the ground. Since we're out of the shade, this is the south, so this gets the full hot sun. This is a hardy hibiscus. This one gets, sometimes people call them dinner plate ones because they get flowers this big around. They're just glorious. And this is a new variety that has a purple leaf, but the flower on it is a multicolored one too. So I think that you're going to really be impressed with this next year. It's one that you're going to think it's not coming back, because it won't show up until on the first year after you plant it, until probably the 1st of June. When it gets really nice and warm, then this will come back.
Okay.
And we have been fighting this horrible weed, but it looks like we're making progress. I dug up a couple of redbud seedlings, and those are planted out. This is a redbud tree right here. It's going to have beautiful purple flowers in the spring. And so those are so gorgeous that we put a couple more out. Right now, this maybe have to be moved, but this is a little oak tree seedling that I put right there. And we've got a maple seedling up at the top that's still growing. So again, we may want to reconsider all of that later on, but for now. Oh, and there was a double wall down here, so I took that and made an extra wall down here.
Yeah, this looks nice.
I didn't know if you...
No, I like it.
Oh, good.
I like it.
Good. So even though it's been a lot of work, I really like the way it's turning out, and I'm glad that you and Robin are so happy with it.
We're very happy with it. Thank you again, Linda.
It's supposed to be a heavier duty one.
All right.
I'm really hoping it lives up to its promise.
So we're going to review this as we go along. Linda bought this What do they call it?
It's an expanding hose.
The expanding hose. So we're going to be able to tell you if these things are junk or not. So she hasn't tried it yet, but as we go along, you'll find out if it's a junk hose or not.
Yeah, I've got them in the past where they have been junk, but this one says it's seamless. You do not want to get the kinds with seams because they just burst.
Okay.
This also has brass fittings, so hopefully this is a good one. I picked it up at Target.
Awesome. Well, we'll see what it does.
All right. I leveled these first two steps too, so I'll be working on that as I go, and I'm going to run out of gravel till next Monday probably.
It's a good start.
Yeah.
All right. I'll let you get back to it. Thank you.
Thank you, John.